What up, horror freaks? It's your favorite gay, Joby Snyder, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite series in the horror genre. These have been one of my favorite movies since I was little, and those are the Child's Play movies, the Chucky movies. These are, if you are a horror fan, you absolutely fucking love these movies. If you don't, I'm sorry, you are not a true horror fan. Chucky is one of my favorites. I love his attitude. I love the way he kills people. Yeah, I just love the storyline in general. It's very original, and it's just from when it first started to now, it's just become such a big phenomenon, in my opinion, anyway. But today we're gonna be discussing my favorite Child's Play movies from worst to best. So I'll be discussing, in my opinions, which ones I think are just complete shit and which ones are the best. So let's not waste any time. Let's do it. Alright, guys, like I said, today we're going to be talking about the Child's Play franchise, and I'm going to be discussing, in my opinion, which ones I think are bullshit and which ones are awesome. So, at number 6, we're going to get right into it. The worst film in the Child's Play series, by far the worst one, would have to be, in my opinion, Seed of Chucky. Some people liked it. A lot of people didn't. I'm one of those people. I was highly disappointed. I just thought it was a complete circus. It was just a complete, utter chaos. I didn't like the story. I thought it was cool bringing in Glenn, bringing in this kid. I thought that was a good idea, but the way he did it was just absolutely, it was way too over the top for me, and I enjoy over the top. I enjoy that. So for me to sit here and tell you that was too over the top, they did something wrong. The gore in it was pretty awesome, but it didn't, just because it had a lot of gore, which made me happy. The fact that the rest of it, the story and everything else, was so bogus and so not serious, it really made the gore effects not that great, really. I mean, they were great, but again, just everything happening around it just pushed that aside for me. It was more like a joke than it was scary. I don't know if he was going for that, or I don't really know what he was going for, but it did not sit well in my opinion. I was very disappointed. I thought the whole idea of Jennifer Tilly playing her was kind of an okay idea until I actually watched the movie, and then just thought, man, like, you were just trying. It was a swing and a miss. You were trying to hit 100 and you only got to 50, and that's 50 is being nice. Yeah, did not like Seed of Chucky. That is number 6. That is the worst one of them all. And now we're at number 5, and this is the second worst one. This one it's not as bad as Seed of Chucky, but it's not my favorite, and you guys are gonna be surprised, but it's actually Child's Play 3. Um, Now, when I was younger, and I saw that movie, I did love it. I thought it was exciting. Being that I've grown up a little bit, I've seen all these movies again 1,000 times, and the third one just for some reason didn't cut it for me. Again, 10 times better than Seed of Chucky, but it just didn't do it for me. I thought the kills were kind of mediocre. Really, to me, there wasn't enough kills. I liked the thing with the being on the military base, and I enjoyed the fact that they brought Andy's character back in, all grown up. But I also kind of thought that I don't see how they couldn't get the original kid to play him. I don't see how he could pass that up because he would have been that age at that time. So I don't understand why they had to get somebody else to play Andy. I think that they could have racked him up somehow and gotten him to play teen Andy. But yeah, just not one of my favorites. Yep, that's my number 5. No good. So my number 4 pick of my favorite Chucky movie, you guys are probably gonna kick my ass. I understand, but hear me out. It would have to be Child's Play, the first one. Yeah, I know. What am I talking about? The first ones are always better than the originals, and yes, it is better. However, when I first saw it, okay, I was very young. I was younger, so I guess I went into it with an immature mind, and I wanted it to be more than what it was. I wanted more blood. I wanted more deaths. Um, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love the original. I do. But there are some others that have been made that just kick the original out of the water. But I mean, you can't ever go wrong with the original. But I do like some others more. It it just like I said, I wanted more. Now that I'm an adult and I'm older, I can sit down and watch it and really appreciate it and really respect how they did it. And like I said, you really can't go wrong. And it is one of my favorites, but it's not my number 1 favorite. So don't hate me. Understand if you do. But yeah, that's my number 4, the first Child's Play. Okay, so now we're getting into the ones that I absolutely 100% with my whole heart absolutely fucking love. And we are at number 3, and it is The Bride of Chucky. I fucking love this movie. I love it. I love it being a part of the series. I think it's probably one of my favorite parts of the series. I know a lot of people will like connect Bride of Chucky with Seed of Chucky, which is understandable. I mean, with the way that with the Bride of Chucky, he kind of stepped out of horror and made it more of a comedy. But in my opinion, not really. That movie was fucking frightening. Yeah, there was a lot of silly and funny parts, and there was a lot of jokes, but it was so dark and it was very brutal, and some of the kills in this were just absolutely gut wrenching. It was very gory, and Chucky and Tiffany together, it was quite a treat to see to even just see Chucky with, you know, an accomplice. Like, not being used to that, only being used to seeing Chucky, and now we have this new character that's almost just as fucking crazy as Chucky is. It was so entertaining. I love Katherine Heigl in it, and yeah, Katherine Heigl, she was just so amazing in it. I thought the storyline was great. I thought the effects were great. It was just so much better seeing for the first time Chucky and Tiffany together, then bringing them back with their son in that Seed of Shit movie. No. But Bride of Chucky, hands down, one of my favorites. It's the best. One of the best, anyway. Very great. Loved it. And my number 2 spot would have to be Child's Play 2, the sequel. Hands down, this was just an electric sequel for this movie. It honestly, I loved when I saw the second one. Loved it so much more than the first one. I thought that they did it extremely well. The continuation of it and what's going on with Andy and where he's at now and how Chucky comes back and how he goes to find him. It's just genius. A lot of the times when you make sequels to these really awesome classic movies, they don't really stand too well high up than the original, but I'm sorry, this one did for me. The sequel just, I mean, even like to this day, I get like kid excited like when I get ready to watch it because it's really just one of my favorite ones. Yep, that's one of my favorite ones. Number 2, Child's Play 2. Oh. And at my number 1 spot, the best Chucky movie by far, so far, in my opinion, would have to be Curse of Chucky. I know a lot of you are going to be like, how can you put Curse of Chucky first than the original? Well, because I like it better. For one, I absolutely enjoy and love the fact that they went back to the horror. They knocked out that silly comedy bullshit and they wanted to frighten us. They wanted to remind us who Chucky is and how he's not just this funny guy and now he's like not a family man. He is a killer doll. He is an evil spirit possessed this doll and he's back and he is ready to fuck you up. And I absolutely loved it. I loved the writing, I loved the characters, and it was like just a normal slasher movie. And the other ones, yes, of course he kills people, but it's in like kind of like a choppy way. Like in this one, it's right down like one after another, very slasher. Like Jason walking around the fucking camp. It's very, very slasher. And I enjoyed that. The gore effects were 100% on the ball. I thought the ending I liked the ending. I like how they did that. But it kind of threw me off, but not enough for me not to love this movie. It was just so well done, even with what they had to work with. And I know they had a low budget. And with what they had to work with, they really made a masterpiece with this 6th installment of the Child's Play movies. I loved that they had, well, for one, of course, I love that Brad Dourif voiced Chucky again. I mean, there's no other person to do it. There's just no other. And I love that his daughter, Fiona Dourif, I believe that's her name, but if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. That's awful if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Fiona Dourif that played Nika, the main character who is a paraplegic. She was fantastic. Great final girl, great main character, and I love that they made her paraplegic. Just really, she's in a wheelchair, so it's just really something you haven't seen in these movies. You have to think that's gotta be kind of hard to run away from a fucking killer doll if you can't walk. Her performance was brilliant, and of course, I loved the big twist in it. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but there's a cool little twist in it between Nika's sister and another character in the movie. So they do kind of do different things to make you kind of like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, that's my favorite one so far. I am so anxious to see what they're going to be coming up with very soon. I know that they're in development, coming up with a seventh installment. So hoping that's just as good as the last one. And real quick, I wanted to say this too before I end this. The one thing that actually did upset me about Curse of Chucky is that it didn't make it into theaters. They must have thought that it wasn't going to make a lot of money, which is understandable. I mean, sometimes you want to be careful in that business. But however, I mean, they were so wrong. They would have made so much money if it would have went into theaters. It may not have been in theaters too long, but I think that they would have. I think it would have benefited it being in the theater. So hopefully this new one gets a theater release. I love going to theater to see movies, so I mean, I was a little disappointed that it went straight to DVD. But other than that, it blew my mind. It was amazing. And that is my number one. And that was pretty much my list in order of which Child Play movies I think suck ass and which ones were just amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, again, like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you think. Also let me know what your favorite kind of Child's Play movie is. And if you guys like this video, which I know I'm a little choppy, so I apologize. If you did like the video and want to see more videos like this, you should comment and let me know what your favorite franchise in horror is. And I can do a video like that with that topic. I would love to do more. Give me some ideas, guys. Let me know what's going on. And again, I hope you guys dug this, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.